okay? Let's say you want to make it in your own steam. Let's say you want to create your own destiny. There are basically only two ways. Now, if you either start a business or you work for somebody else, both ways could lead you to a very successful career. So I'm going to talk a little bit about career. Now, when you work in any environment, most people will want to think, am I in the right field? Am I in the right industry? Am I doing the right thing? How come I'm not getting along with my friends or colleagues or bosses? So they would think that, this might not be their passion in life. Now, a lot of times, it is also due to the people not understanding their true potential, or they're not understanding how they could maximize their innate talents and skills so that they could become better at their jobs. You see, most of the time when people talk about in metaphysics, they come for a party reading, they want to know, hey, am I in the right industry? They think that just because they're in the right industry, everything works out. It's not true. The industry, it only works out to some of this equation to your success, because not only do you want to be in an industry that's supportive of you, you also want to be performing the correct roles in life, because it is what you do that makes the difference. 4 things that we will primarily address. These 4 things is really simple. We know that making better decisions equals to a better life. Okay, so the goal is we want a better life. To get that, we know we need to make a better decision. So that's 2 things. But in order to make better decisions, we need to know what our options are. You cannot make a better decision if your options are bad. If choice A, choice B, choice C, they're all bad, you can't make a better choice. So you gotta know what your options are. I'm going to talk about how you can actually see what these options are, because it is all about optics. That's the 4th thing we're going to talk about, because with better optics, you will be able to see what options you have, and as a result of knowing what options you have, you will be able to make better decisions, and as a result of better decisions, you will have a better life or a better career. DRT stands for Decision Referential Technology, a technology that I've developed based on 八字. This is quite similar to some of you who work in corporate environments that you've been through similar personality tests, for example, the DISC system, the Myers-Briggs MBTI system, but that requires you to fill up a questionnaire, right? But using DRT, what we need is just the date of birth, and it comes up with a slightly different perspective of your work profile and your team profile and so on and so forth. Okay, not only do you know the industry that you should be in, you also know the roles that you play. Awareness is the first step of change. So by going through your work profile, understanding yourself, it puts you in a better position to find the right roles that suit you. So it's not just the industry. So being in the right industry brings opportunities, but performing the right role gives you more, growth potential. Not only that, we also will show you from your profile how you could see, how you interact with teams, how you perform under different environments, what is the best type of objectives you should set for yourself, and how you should perform at your maximum potential, and that's all from your profile. For example, how do you perform, what motivates you, what stresses you out, what happens when you are in a time constraint, what happens when you're relaxed, how do you work with others, how do you relate to different types of bosses, for example. I'm going to talk about, are you in the right industry? Does it suit your character? What is your career profile? What is the right approach in your work? How do you deal with your colleagues? How do you deal with your bosses? And more importantly, how do you ensure that you are going on the path of least resistance to your success? You see, in our lives, 2 things influence us. Internally, we call it internal luck or internal control, and then externally we call it external luck, which means external influences. So in a career, there are always external influences, and external influences can sometimes make or break you. For example, the anticipation of crisis. There's certain crises that might be not your fault. For example, a crisis that will be caused by cultural change, or crisis that is caused by colleagues or company change. or crises that are caused by technological changes. So you need to know how this affects you. And this is how we look at in DRT technology, because we use 八字, we will look at a year's influence to you. And when we look at the year's influence using DRT, using the technology of 八字, we can look at, let's say, 2014, the year of the wood horse, or let's say 2015, the year of the wood goat. How does these elements and energy affect your external influences in your career? Will they present obstacles? Are there hidden opportunities? What do you need to do to change your life? All we need is your date and time of birth, and we will plot out a DRT profile. And from there, it's similar to a 八字 chart, but it's just that I've simplified it so that you only need to look at straight to the point references that relate to your career and your work.